Aftermath of Ningi's suspension, National Assembly in search of reputation redemption. They don't have reputation now. What are they going to do? Already, Ningi has revealed the biggest secret of the year from the Senate. These people are heartless and are very, very mean, towards Nigerians. Quite unfortunate. Now they're not suspending, or they did not suspend Ningi because of the fact that what Ningi said was a lie, but because he released the privileged information. That is the reason they suspended Ningi. Okay? They suspended Ningi because he shouldn't have said what he said. He said he had the privileged information and he went to release it to the public. Not that they didn't pad the budget. Not that the allegation is not true. And now, because the secret is leaked to the public, they are struggling now to redeem their reputation, with almost everybody in the north now asking for the removal of the Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Okay, now immediately they removed Ningi, both Akpabio and Speaker of the House of Reps Abbas. All of them went to meet Tinubu, maybe to give him feedback that we have done the needful, because Ningi is of PDP and not APC. But then it doesn't end there. There's a very big hook now on their throat that's struggling to manage the situation. Okay, so the revelations made on alleged financial misdeeds and misappropriation during the 3.7 trillion naira pardon on 2024 budget debate, no doubt may have created more credibility problems for the upper chambers despite suspension of Senate Abdul Ningi. Specifically, the revelations on multi-billion naira procurement and sharing of sports utility vehicles, SUVs, allocation of funds for constituency projects, as well as sharing of palliatives, largesse, have practically destroyed reasons for the eventual suspension of Senator Ningi, which in itself was done to protect the integrity of the Senate. Although the allegation has been dismissed as being untrue, both by the presidency and the legislative arm of government, the development has unearthed non-transparent and unjustified financial allocations to the National Assembly members, thus further casting doubts over its integrity. So Ningi was the chairman Senate Committee on Population and represents Bauchi Central. Senator Ningi, on his part, while putting up defense for his allegation on the 2024 budget pardon, challenged the Senate President Godswill Akpabio over his take-home pay, saying it is not known. So he said, we discovered some senatorial districts in these documents have up to 120 billion, and my senatorial district has just 1.2 billion. That's bad. Before now, some of the previous controversies in the National Assembly had also involved brazen allocations of huge funds to itself for undisclosed and trivial reasons, to the detriment of the hapless, poor citizens. Last year, the National Assembly leadership had announced plans to purchase 2023 model Toyota Land Cruisers for 109 senators and 2023 Toyota Prado for 360 members of the House of Representatives. So it was learned that a unit of the expensive 2023 model of the Toyota Land Cruiser and Toyota Prado, which was contracted to be supplied at the cost of 160 million naira each in the third quarter of last year, was jacked to 200 million naira through a contract variation early this year. Can you imagine? Similarly, the specific make for the 4 presiding officers was also jacked to over 450 million naira each through the same contract variation process. So the reason for the contract variation, as confirmed by a senior management staff of the Senate, is the uncontrollably falling value of the naira. So the expensive purchase by National Assembly drew the ire of many Nigerians who felt it smacked gross insensitivity in a country where the people faced several economic hardships, including an all-time high inflation. Contract variation is what happens when parties decided to perform part of a contract differently from the way they had originally agreed in document. So varying a contract allows legal and business teams to change certain terms or obligations later down the line without needing to scrap or redraft the entire contract. This is amid criticisms of the Assembly for various degree of misdeeds in the budgeting process as amplified by Ningi, who was unceremoniously suspended on Tuesday. So long before the contract duration, Socioeconomic Rights and Accountability Project (SERAP) had asked the Federal High Court in Lagos to stop the House of Representatives from procuring and taking delivery of 360 sports utility vehicles worth 5.7 billion naira for its members pending the hearing and determination of the application for injunction filed by the organization. Now, these ones now long grammar, they did not be joke. So with all of this happening, where are we? That is the question. With all of this happening, where are we? Okay. So leading two other northern senators, were described allegations by Ningi is unfounded, baseless, and a figment of his imagination. So he warned against antics of blackmailers bent on creating an atmosphere of crisis in the upper chambers of the National Assembly. Karimi, Zam, and Shu, speaking on behalf of the Northern Senators Forum, also said no room should be allowed for division and acrimony between senators from the North and South by those who may not want to accord priority to national unity and harmony. It's a grammar. Okay. So what is happening now is that with all that we have seen narrated here, the Senate is still struggling to wriggle itself out of integrity issues. I'm telling you, especially with lack of transparency in the way funds are allocated to themselves, the National Assembly members, both at the upper and the lower chamber. Very terrible one, I'm telling you the truth. And somebody is reacting here, speaking Igbo language. He said, India Jojuru Nobudani. India Jojuru Nobudani. That means there are too many bad people in our country. That's a Chineke Merendi Nigeria Bere. Yeah, God should have mercy on Nigerians. That is another one. That's what he's saying there. Chineke Merendi Nigeria Bere. Okay. And then another is saying, I personally, in my own opinion, suggest that the National Assembly should be divided into God-fearing men and a tout to have a free flow of freedom. Okay. New Nigeria is not possible until a common man believes in his leader. We don't have leader now. So why would common man believe in a faulty leader? Or corrupt leaders? This guy, I don't know where he's coming from. National Assembly is Nigeria's center of corruption. It is an assembly of crooks and criminals. And I agree with that as well. So that is what is coming from this analysis. National Assembly is struggling with integrity issues as we speak. So they are struggling to redeem their image, which obviously is not going to be possible. Because it's now obvious to all Nigerians that all our politicians, both the executive and the legislators, and all of the political appointees, ministers, and all of them are all in it, to loot Nigeria dry. They're all corrupt. No two ways about it. Now it has gone to a point that if you make sure that you're a politician, people will look at you like a criminal. If your parents are politicians, you better don't say it. Once you say it in the public, you'll be seen like a product of criminals. That is it. That is the level it has degenerated into. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comments.